Blunts and conversations last. Blunts and conversations. What's your observation? That's a good evaluation. At Blunts and
Yo, peace and love, world.
last.
It's your boy Slang Ills. We here with Blunts and Conversations. And today I want to talk about the rise of the copycat culture and how consumers became creators, the damage that is doing to the creative industry, and how we can get back to, celebrating real fire, real greatness, real art. So that's what we're talking about today. This episode explores the copycat culture and modern entertainment. The transition of consumers into creators, and how these shifts has affected the presence of true, original content in the arts. So, for me, I come up in I'm gonna grab my drink real quick. For me, a little backstory. I started making music in, I'm gonna say 2003. I started making music in 2002, but I started officially putting it down on wax in 2003. I was in this group called the 7 Block back in Newport News, and we just seen the Eminem 8 Mile joint. It was me and one of the white boys, and one of the other homies in the group. The white boy taught us how to record. We used to go to the white boy house and record on his computer monitor. The computer monitor, big ass old fat computer screens back in the day, had a microphone on it. So at the time he had the Cool Edit Pro. He pulled that bitch up, throw a beat in there, and whoop whoop. We started dropping tracks. And at that time, it was like mandatory to have your own identity. It was mandatory to have your own sound. Like, it was corny to try to sound like somebody else. Even if you got inspiration from somebody, you had to still find a way to differentiate yourself. One of the worst things to hear as a rapper back in the early 2000s is, "Oh, bro, you sound like this dude," or "You sound like that dude." I done sound like Lloyd Banks. I sound like The Game. I sound like Nas. Excuse me. And these are all cats I looked up to. But then I had to learn, I still wanted to differentiate myself. And then we kind of moved out of the era of bars and metaphors and freestyles and shit. And things really start changing when Soulja Boy popped. So for a lot of y'all that don't know, y'all familiar with SoundCloud, but you're not familiar with SoundClick. SoundClick was like the first avenue that we had as artists to upload our own music, sell our own MP3s, collect all of the money. We had a chart system on SoundClick, and niggas was actually doing numbers off of the SoundClick. And Soulja Boy comes from that generation. And it was like after Soulja popped, because there was so many people on SoundClick trying to make it. You had the artists, as far as rappers, singers, and the producers. The way production is done now is started from SoundClick. My nigga, I think it was, not Yes Sir. It was, damn, I can't remember the nigga name now. My bad, I can't remember the nigga name now, nigga. It's, When I'm gonna remember, I'm gonna shout him back out. But it was this one particular producer on SoundClick. He started dropping, like, we was getting beats, New York type beat, Atlanta hype crunk type beat. Those are the type beats that was being dropped at first. And this was the first nigga, Cashmere Royale, that's the nigga name. Yeah, so Cashmere, shout out Cash. Cash was the first nigga, like, in the production scene to really start dropping beats with, like, Flow Rider type beat, Rick Ross type beat, and it had these sounds that are similar to the artist, and it was the first nigga that he dropped them for free, and there was commercial quality beats of the day, you know what I'm saying? So for all the people that was making music in them days, they know what them LimeWire beats was hitting on, they know what the motherfucking Bear Share beats was hitting on and shit. And we all had a lot of the same beats. We was all freestyling over commercial beats. And it wasn't until Soulja dropped and found success through SoundClick that we start seeing more of the copycat shit start happening. We all start trying to transition our sounds up a little bit. I started noticing that people who we was making hip hop and R&B, we had a little, you know, southern vibe to some of our shit, but we was doing a lot of conscious rap, a lot of R&B at a young age. And then Soulja found success, and it's like, all right, how do we break into that lane? So now we making crunk music, now we making turned up music. Now we wasn't necessarily copying Soulja, but we trying to emulate the formula and ride the wave, if you would, and try to find some success through it. So that's when I first noticed the transition really happened, and it's probably like 07, 08 type shit, where I started noticing the creativity and the artists starting to go away. Everybody, you had to do the Batman joint. Then everything that just came, we had the whole dance era. Then we had the crunk, with New Boys and shit, the jerking era. And everybody tried to carve a little lane out for themselves with that shit. But what I noticed that even though, like, alright, New Boys pop with the jerk and shit, we got other artists trying to make some jerk music, pause, but they would still try to incorporate their own uniqueness into it. And then we get the Drake Young Money era, where now we got really, and I say this, you know, it's neither here nor there now because Kendrick done bodied the nigga, but Drake copied a lot of niggas. Drake went to a lot of niggas' hoods. He came out to VA, he took a lot of niggas' styles, he ran with a lot of shit that wasn't his originality, you know. So for me, he the nigga that he took a bunch of styles that I thought other people should have got recognized for. For instance, Trey Songz, nigga, if you from Petersburg, if you from the 804 region of Virginia, you know this nigga as Trigger Trey. You know the 804 boys, the group he was in, you know some of the shit that you know they was doing, and Trey had bars, nigga. Trey was the rap singing nigga. He one of the first niggas from VA. I want to say Trey originated the rap singing shit. That's kind of been like the Virginia style, but he the first like singer and rapper. But when he had the labels wanted this nigga to sing and be the next R. Kelly and be the next big R&B superstar. And Drake was able to take that shit, take that rap singing shit, and now he's known as the rap singing nigga. And everybody else that came after Aubrey, they try to compare to Aubrey with the, you know, rap singing shit. So that, for me, that's around the time I started noticing the transition, shit changing up a little bit. It was there's a statement that Russell Simmons made. I'm not sure if I'm quoting it exact, but it's something to the notion of good music takes away from great music. And at first I really didn't understand that. But as the years went by, I just started seeing a decline in the quality of music, like the decline in hit records. We don't have like big hit records no more. We got major popular songs, but I feel like we don't got like big hit records. We ain't got, you know what I'm saying? You can't compare these artists today to the artists of the past because the records just ain't big like that. They not stadium records. They social media records. You know what I'm saying? And at first, like when YouTube and shit hit, YouTube, fucking Vine. Vine was probably the first one that dropped, because at first when YouTube dropped, the content creators on YouTube, everybody was still kind of unique. People wasn't really copying each other. You didn't really see the influx of the beats yet. Yeah, people was uploading production, but it wasn't like, oh, now you get your production from YouTube. But it's like when Vine dropped in this quick form content. Vine was really the first place for the quick form content. Snapchat was really the first place for the content disappearing in the story mode and shit. And it's like when that quick form shit happened, you start seeing the influx of the modern day influencer. And now everybody and their mama with a camera want the popularity, because there's this idea that, all right, you get popular on YouTube, you get rich, you get famous and rich, and you get all this money. And people don't really understand how the money around the shit works. So now we got people, just everybody and their mom from around the world just creating content. And there was a time to where when you look at the word celebrity, ultimately the celebrities were the people who had the most talent, who proved themselves to be the most talented. They auditioned amongst the most talented. They went to schools to hone their talent. And people used to celebrate that. People used to be inspired by that. People didn't used to be intimidated by the talented. And that's why we had legends in the realm of celebrity. For me, celebrity stands for celebrated creator of sorts, you know what I'm saying? This is a creator, a musician, an actor, actress, a comedian, a magician, you know, anything in the realm of creating entertainment to, you know, and you get celebrated by the masses based on, you know, your skill and your talent. And now it's like people is famous for the sake of being famous. Like, they don't do nothing. They get popular. And we've gone from I think what happened is that once people realize that you can get the clout, the recognition, the money, the bitches, the cars, the whips, once you can get all of that shit and not have to be the most talented motherfucker in the world, the masses begin to move away from celebrating the talented, because now it's like, okay, this person does this, it's acceptable for me to do some copycat shit on camera. They call it remixes. Motherfuckers is famous for doing reaction videos. Motherfuckers is famous for literally posting themselves over videos that other people are doing. But the consumer discovered that, damn, you can get hella popular without having talent. You can just copy what somebody else is doing and become more popular and famous than the actual person that did it. So when the masses got hip to that, even if they didn't get hip to it knowingly, it's more of a subconscious thing. Now, you don't celebrate things that you can't recreate easily. You don't big up the best singers because you can't hit them notes. You don't big up the best rappers because you can't freestyle like that. You can't fuck this the freestyling. You can't even write like that. Even when it comes to what's happened to hip hop, in the decline in the quality of music, it's like people are ashamed to write bars now, and these niggas think they're going in the studio and freestyling. And yeah, if you freestyle every single line and then you piece the track together and it sounds good, you know, that's one thing. You know what I'm saying? That's one way of recording, but that's not, you know what I'm saying, really freestyling your whole shit through. And some people have that naturally, and some people have to master that skill through practice. The same way you get good at basketball or any other skill, you gotta practice. You know what I'm saying? But because the technology's made it so easy, the consumer's willing to just to consume anything that's popular. The shit can be terrible, but if it's popular, the consumers are willing to consume it because they want to be popular too. And it's taken away from a large element of what the musical arts and the creative arts are supposed to be. Yeah, we all need fun, goofy shit just to laugh to and vibe to, but we also need substance within the art forms, and there is no more substance. Even down to the movies. Movies are just like recreations of each other. They keep bringing back the movies from my generation. All the artists keep sampling the music from my generation. And there's nothing new being created. Everybody's just copycatting everything, man. I think that to go to my notion with people not wanting to celebrate the talented no more, when you look at social media and what it's done to everybody, we want these likes. These likes is a dopamine hit. It's already proven scientifically that people get a dopamine hit when they get these reactions on these social media accounts. So why sit there and risk being rejected with your talent that you're trying to cultivate? Now, if you have talent, if you can sing, if you can rap, if you dope, then that's something that's the risk that people who are dope are more willing to take. But the people who know they're not dope, they know if they go up here and try to drop some shit and it's some real ass, not no popular sound good ass, but some real ass, people are gonna crucify them if they gain any popularity over the assness that they produce. And if not crucify them, they're gonna ignore them. So this instant gratification culture that we got with not even say with social media, with Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat, you know, the new generation of social media. I think MySpace was a little bit different. It wasn't such a notion of, oh, you had to, if you had hella MySpace followers and shit, you know, you got a little bit of clout from that. But that wasn't the only thing that made MySpace. And then when Facebook took over, it made everything blend. It made everything look the same. Everybody's page looked the same. Like, the whole basis of social media is a copycat model. And it's taken away from the beauty of what everything could be. When you go back in history, the 30s, the 40s, the 50s, the 60s, the 70s, even the 80s and the 90s, the stars that were produced. Like, I watch old movies and see how amazing the acting was, how committed the actors were to these roles. And you watch some of these modern movies and it's just like, even the black and white movies, like, there's a beauty in the lack of production where the actors really had to tell the story. Excuse me. Where they didn't depend on CGI, special effects, and all this other shit to convey a beautiful story across to the audience. the acting that had to be done to convey those stories when you didn't have so much to depend on. You compare the old black and white movies to the movies of today, and it's just the quality of movie. Yeah, okay, the modern movies have more CGI and all this other shit, but the quality of acting, the quality of storytelling, it's just not the same. It's the same with the music. It's this meme going around saying, yeah, if you're 35 years and up and still rapping, keep doing that shit, because these young niggas, these YNs, is some garbage. And it's like, and when I talked to some of my artists and shit, I was telling them what was gonna happen with the culture shift. Like, all the kids and everything that's been fucking with this type of music these last 15 years, they gonna get older, they gonna get grown, they not gonna be on that bullshit no more, and the culture shift is really gonna change. It's gonna get back to more authenticity, it's gonna get back to more artistry, it's gonna get back to more being creative and being unique and finding your voice, and I'm starting to see that happen a little bit, but for me it's not happening fast enough, because you still got a lot of bullshit. Like, even when it comes to this violence in the hip hop, my rest in peace B-Eazy, but my bro, he was killed in 2006, and at the time we was making a lot of violent music. He was, he was living that life, young nigga living that life. He was the first one, before YNs was YNs, this nigga was one of the first YNs, cause like, and he was out there like that, and he, got smoked, and I dedicated as, owner of my label, I said, we're not making no more violent music, we're not going to contribute to the bullshit no more. And then years later, I ended up working at one of the major labels out in California, in the A&R department, and the new media department at the time, and we was told to look for talent that, it was sounding like Chief Keef. This 2010, 2009, 2010, 2011. Look for talent that sound like Chief Keef, to shoot 'em up, bang bang music. And now look, look how prevalent. And I was outspoken against that shit. Is one reason I stopped fucking with the major labels, because I was outspoken against that shit. Like, bro, like, nah, we not trying. That's not the message we trying to push in the culture. Yeah, violence happens in the streets. It's a rule and it's a code to the streets, and violence comes with it sometimes, but we're not supposed to glamorize that shit and just be doing it for the sake of doing it. Now niggas is collecting, as they say, collecting hats. That's the thing, just collect hats, nigga. Like, niggas ain't do shit to you, niggas ain't violate you, niggas ain't violate your peoples, just collect hats. It ain't no rules to the streets no more. So like, when you remove the substance, when you remove the soul of shit, bro, even when you look at what's happening to country music, look what's happening to a lot of art forms, is like everything is starting to sound commercialized. Country music is sounding more like R&B trap shit, just with country niggas singing it. White boys with country accents singing it. It ain't got that real country no more, that real, umph to it no more and shit. And it's disappointing, it's depressing as a fan of this shit. I got a message, I'm gonna read the message from the homie. So the homie texted me yesterday at 11:33 p.m. He sent me a song, and it's one of the, I know cuz from elementary school back in VA. I left that area of Virginia, moved to a different part of Virginia, moved around a little bit. I'm an Army brat, and I ended up moving back. We moved back in 06. Moved back to the 804 in 06. And bro was producing. I'm still making music. I done took my music shit to the next level. Bro was one of my first producers, but we ain't never really take at least with me and him, we ain't never really take the music shit out of high school. Now he in Vegas, I'm in Vegas. But bro texted me yesterday at 11:33 p.m. I'm back to work. You inspired the shit out of me, LOL. And for me, that's what I signed up to do this shit for. Like, not necessarily to be a role model, but you know, I want my story, my music to be able to inspire others to find their voice and create. We all can, you know, share in this experience of artistry, tell our stories, you know, make beautiful pieces of artwork, masterpieces, and create longevity and legacies with creativity. You know, we need a new renaissance, man. I dubbed my company YD Entertainment the Renaissance Company because we really need a new renaissance. Social media used to be a beautiful place. If you was around during the AOL, AIM days and shit, it was a beautiful space, you know. Outside of motherfuckers doing weird, creepy shit, like, it was a beautiful space and people were really social. It was real social media. Now social media is just a platform where everybody's like, look at me, look at me. They take all these pictures and they try to make themselves look the best and like they live in this kind of life, and you know, that shit is superficial as fuck, and it's to the point now where it's like something gotta give, man. Every little cute bitch, that's all she do is post pictures of herself. Every nigga that's, you know, trying to make it seem like they getting money, even if they is getting money, that's all they doing is posting a lifestyle. There's no substance to none of this shit no more. Like, I just think we can do better with it, you know? If you ain't got the talent and you want to have the talent, they got schools for this shit. They got classes you can take. They got, you know, exercises you can do. If you can't sing and you want to learn how to sing, you know, I think about the story with T-Pain tell about the story with him and Usher. Usher said he killed R&B, and ultimately he did. Like, when people could get on key without having to actually learn how to be on key, you know, the quality of what the R&B music is and was, it just changed, bro. Even look at the what I think it was with Jeremiah on the stage, and Mario was out there like, yo, what the fuck? Like, and I'm on auto-tuner, you know what I'm saying? I use pitch correction in my shit. So I'm not just talking like a nigga that just say like, fuck the auto-tune, woo woo. But I don't know, I just thought that people was gonna take the tools, the ease of access to creating, and still be unique. I didn't think it was gonna be this copycat ass culture, dog, because when you look at the SoundClick days, and now we all learn we can make music in our bedrooms and shit, like, this is a time where they still wanted you to go to the major studios. But then you look at how time passed now. Just setting up the mic, recording in the middle of the room is the thing to do. We used to get clowned for that shit. Excuse me. Yeah, we used to get clowned for that shit. And now it's the thing to do. You know, and I thought that the same energy we had during the D-Music days, during the SoundClick days, during the MP3.com days, to where everybody wanted their own voice and their own unique style to shine through. I thought that's what the world was going to embrace. Not, oh, I want the clout more than anything, so let me just do some clouted up shit. Like, watch some of these little dance videos that y'all be doing, turn the music off. Watch how goofy motherfuckers look, bro. It's just like some real clownish, jester ass shit, bro. And, you know, I want to see us get back to some shit. This episode is brought to y'all by Everclear. That's what I drink. And what I'm smoking right now, I got this Giving Trees SFVOG. So I smoke, you know what I'm saying? I'm an indica smoker, so it's doing what it's supposed to do. But yeah, something gotta give, man. It's cool to be unique, bro. You ain't gotta be no copycat ass motherfucker. But just blunt some conversations. Let's talk about it. Peace.